Have you ever felt lost in an art gallery, wandering from painting to painting while secretly wondering what all the fuss is about? Or maybe you love art but find yourself exhausted after an hour, your brain overloaded with masterpieces? I've been there too. It's Oleg G from Art Explained, simply and quickly. And today I'm sharing something different. Not an analysis of a specific artwork, but creative strategies that transformed how I experience art galleries entirely. I used to approach galleries like an academic exercise, dutifully reading every plaque, moving chronologically, trying to appreciate everything. The result? Exhibition fatigue, information overload, and honestly, not much joy. But over years of experimentation, I've discovered approaches that make gallery visits not just educational, but truly exciting. Today, I'm sharing these techniques with you. Let's start with something many people don't realize. Modern galleries are reinventing themselves with interactive experiences that go far beyond the traditional audio guide. These aren't gimmicks, they're genuinely transformative ways to connect with art. And yes, they often cost a little extra, but in my experience, they're absolutely worth it. Themed scavenger hunts have completely changed how I explore larger museums. Many institutions now offer these officially, but you can also create your own. Instead of trying to see everything, give yourself a mission. Find all the paintings featuring a specific color, locate works that evoke a particular emotion, or track the evolution of a specific symbol across different periods. When I visited the Louvre, rather than getting overwhelmed, I focused on finding representations of hands across centuries, from ancient sculptures to Renaissance masterpieces. This focused approach revealed fascinating technical and cultural shifts I would have missed otherwise. Interactive audio guides have evolved dramatically in recent years. No longer just dry narration, many galleries now offer story-based experiences. The National Gallery in London has audio tours that follow the dramatic lives of artists or track the journey of specific paintings through history. These narratives help you connect emotionally with the work. My favorite approach is to choose guide options that contrast expert and non-expert perspectives. Hearing both an art historian and a child respond to the same painting often reveals insights neither would discover alone. Digital installations are increasingly common and can provide unique entry points to traditional art. The TeamLab Borderless in Tokyo and Atelier des Lumières in Paris create immersive digital environments that literally surround you with art. But even traditional museums are incorporating augmented reality elements that let you see beneath a painting's surface layers or view works as they originally appeared before time altered their colors. At the Daly Museum in Florida, I used an AR application that brought surrealist paintings to life, revealing dimensions of the work impossible to see with the naked eye. But you don't need technology to transform your experience. One of my most powerful techniques involves exploring art through different sensory channels. Our culture prioritizes visual information, but engaging other senses can unlock new dimensions of understanding. Try this on your next visit. Stand before a painting and close your eyes. What sounds might you hear if you could step into the scene? For landscapes, imagine the ambient noises: birds, wind, distant conversations. For portraits, what might the subject's voice sound like? This exercise engages your imagination and creates a more embodied connection with the artwork. Another approach is what I call texture translation. Choose a painting with interesting textures, perhaps a stormy Turner seascape or a richly detailed Dutch still life. Try to physically embody those textures. How would your body move if you were the swirling clouds or crashing waves? This might sound unusual, but it creates a physical understanding of the composition that purely visual observation misses. Many galleries now encourage drawing as a form of engagement, providing sketchbooks and pencils. But don't worry about creating a masterpiece. The goal isn't artistic skill, but attentive seeing. I often make abstract sketches capturing just the energy or movement in a painting. Sometimes I'll draw with my non-dominant hand or without looking at the paper, focusing entirely on the artwork. These constraints free you from worrying about results and heighten your observational powers. Music can also transform your experience. Create a personal soundtrack for your visit or choose music from the period you're exploring. When viewing Impressionist works, I sometimes listen to Debussy or Ravel, whose musical impressionism parallels the visual techniques. The emotional resonance between sound and image can be profound. One of my favorite approaches involves what I call narrative expansion. Choose a painting with human figures and imagine their lives beyond the frame. What happened just before this moment? What will happen after? What are they thinking but not saying? This technique is particularly powerful with narrative paintings, but it works surprisingly well with portraits too. At the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam, I spent an hour with Rembrandt's The Night Watch, developing elaborate backstories for each figure. This narrative engagement transformed a static image into a living world. Social dynamics offer another creative avenue. Instead of visiting alone, try a perspective exchange with a friend. View a painting separately, then share your completely different interpretations. The gaps between your perspectives often reveal the most interesting aspects of the work. I've had extraordinary conversations with people who noticed elements I completely missed or interpreted familiar symbols in ways I'd never considered. For those who enjoy writing, try composing poems or flash fiction inspired by artworks. The constraint of responding to a specific image often produces surprising creative results. Some galleries actually offer writing workshops, but you can easily practice this independently. Photography restrictions in galleries can actually be liberating. Instead of documenting everything with your phone, try sketching quick visual notes or writing descriptive phrases that capture what strikes you. These personal responses often prove more meaningful than digital images you'll rarely revisit. Time-based challenges can also transform your experience. The 5-5-5 approach involves finding 5 artworks that immediately attract you, then spending 5 minutes with each, followed by finding 5 that initially repel you and giving them equal time. This balanced attention often leads to the most surprising discoveries. Works I initially dismissed have become favorites through sustained engagement. For families with children, role reversal can be magical. Let children lead the exploration, following their interest without adult agenda. Their unfiltered responses often cut through academic conventions to the emotional heart of artwork. I've learned more from following a 7-year-old through a gallery than from many scholarly texts. Let's talk about physical positioning. Most people stand at a standardized distance from paintings, but experimental viewings can reveal new dimensions. Move very close to examine brushwork details, then step far back to see compositional patterns. View paintings from angles to observe how light plays across textured surfaces. These physical perspectives parallel the conceptual perspectives that enrich our understanding. Many galleries now offer meditative or mindfulness sessions focused on specific works. Even without formal programming, you can practice contemplative viewing by selecting a single work and sitting with it for 15 to 30 minutes. Watch how your perception shifts as initial impressions give way to deeper observations. The timing of your visit matters enormously. Consider exploring during off-peak hours. Early mornings or weekday afternoons often provide space for contemplation impossible in crowds. Some museums offer evening visits with different lighting and atmosphere. The Prado in Madrid and many others have slow art days specifically designed for unhurried engagement. If you're fascinated by how art connects to broader cultural concerns, try thematic approaches that cross traditional categories. Follow representations of a specific subject: water, hands, doorways, mirrors, across different periods and styles. These comparative journeys often reveal surprising consistencies and ruptures in artistic vision. Remember that gallery fatigue is real, and respecting your capacity enhances the experience. I've found it's better to deeply engage with 5 works than to superficially see 50. Build in breaks, allow time for reflection, and don't try to see everything in one visit. If you're enjoying these alternative approaches to experiencing art, hit that subscribe button right now and join our community of art explorers. Every week on Art Explained Simply and Quickly, we uncover new ways to connect with visual culture. What creative approaches have you discovered for engaging with art? Drop your suggestions in the comments below. And tell me, which of these techniques sounds most intriguing to try on your next gallery visit? Your experiences might inspire others to transform their relationship with art. Art galleries aren't sacred temples requiring specialized knowledge. They're spaces for encounter, wonder, and personal discovery. With these creative approaches, your next visit might just be the beginning of a lifelong adventure in seeing. See you in the next exploration.